Howdy, 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 everybody, and welcome to the BSR MX5 Pro Series here at Monza without the first chicane. I am Austin. I am joined in the commentary box by JJ Tup, and Samuel Kumo is controlling the cameras for us today. JJ, how are you feeling about today's race?
Hey man, I'm really good. I had a blast last week. Well, not last week now. It's been 2 weeks now, and I'm looking forward to seeing these MX5s run their little engines ragged down some of the long straights in Monza.
Yeah, these cars, not the most powerful cars, but super fun in the draft, and it's open qualifying right now. You're going to see a lot of cars recreating what Formula 1 did, where it's just giant pack qualifying right now, as we were looking at McLaren, Rinso, and Peter Van Gool as they come into a SCAR in a little three-way train. All these guys running for Excite Energy right now.
Yeah, I think the interesting thing about the MX5s over at Monza is, number one, you get those really long straights, right? You get those straights where you can draft, and then the guy can draft you, and then sometimes you can even draft him back, which means these tight chicanes, I know we're missing the first one at the moment, but these tight chicanes, they can make some interesting dive bombs late, which in an MX5 is quite an interesting sight.
Yeah, you're going to see a lot of dive bombs, especially from a few new faces in this series. Tyler Maxon, he got the nickname in the Amateur Cup of Tyler Dive Bomb Maxon. Let's see if he can recreate that as he's been promoted into the Pro Series. As we're taking a look at a few cars, there is Tyler Maxon right now. He's running the amateur livery currently, but he is a pro. That my sources have told me, my sources being him.
You're very detailed sources.
Yes.
So what if you were to pick one part of this track as your favorite part, which one would you go for?
Oh, definitely not the Lesmo turns. If anyone watched the Amateur Cup race yesterday, they would have seen me crash out there every single time. So I would say Ascari.
Oh, you stole my one. I was gonna go for Ascari too.
Hey, we think alike.
Hey, great minds, right? Great minds.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're at the moment we've got what, like a minute left of qualifying, and I'm not sure entirely where this race is going to go. You know, it's the first race of the season. I don't want to place any bets. I know I placed some bets towards the end of last week's race, and I was kind of seeing where my drivers would end up. But it's the brand new season. We've got everything to play for. Everyone's on equal pegging, and they're all as motivated as each other to see who can be getting that crown.
Yeah, it is the first race of the season, so this is where people are going to be shine, but it's also where people are the most cautious because it is the first race of 12, or 36, honestly, because there are 3 races per week. Speaking of 3 races per week, there are 3 races of 15 minutes, and then we're going to spin that wheel. Kuma's going to wonderfully spin that wheel for us, and will be a reverse grid if you are new to the BSR MX5 Pro Series.
So, why don't you explain how the wheel of fortune, the wheel of misfortune, depending on how it goes. So, why don't you explain to our newer viewers what that means?
Well, the wheel is basically a wheel. We spin it after each race, and it has a bunch of these numbers on it. And those numbers contribute. Ooh, there's a massive crash in qualifying.
I was about to say, ouch.
Yeah, that was a massive hit. We got a replay of it already. I believe that was Peter Van Gool going into a Ascari and completely missing the turn.
I think he might get a 1x for that.
Might have got a 1x, might have got it off track. Oh, there was another car that got cut across there. All right. And back to the wheel.
Yes, as you were saying, with the wheel.
All right, back to the wheel. Has all these numbers, and these numbers contribute to how many cars are going to be reversed back. So 4 usually means the entire grid. There are some weird numbers on there, but 6 is usually the first 6 will get reversed. 14, the first 14 will get reversed. 7, first 7. Enter a number. That's how many cars, unless it's 4.
Yeah, so it causes some interesting dynamics. It can mean that maybe the race before you didn't quite get the finish that you wanted. Maybe you got a little bit scared towards the end and you made a mistake. You can come back in that next race with Bahashin if you qualify well enough because of the wheel of fortune, misfortune, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, exactly. As we are entering the final laps of all these guys for the qualifying session, on board with David Ayers right now. Jamie Ayers, not David. As he's giving us a little bit of Gymkhana show through Lesmo 1 right now. That's beautiful. As letting his teammate by. Or not. But other than that, that is Steve Hefford. Also, no, let's keep Stevens also in there. I'm sorry. And Keep is going to lead out these three into Ascari.
You know what? I don't think anyone's told these guys that this is qualifying. I think they're battling just as hard as they need to in the qualifying as it will be in the race.
You call it battling, but these guys are in the Pro Series. They do this all the time with each other. They just love running close to each other and running great laps. Because Kip Stevens is in 9th currently. Jamie Ayers is in 3rd. And Nick... And then the other car, yeah, he's just having a good time.
Yeah, I don't blame him. I mean, looking at these guys going into this next race, they had an interesting season last race, and interesting race last towards the end of last season. A couple of guys just having some fun, enjoying the end of the season. Now the season's over, and we've had week 13. We've got an awesome new build to look forward to. I think the MX5 remains largely the same from last season, if I'm right in saying that.
Yes, it does remain the same. Yeah, it actually does.
I don't think they've done anything new to it for this season, which means that these guys, you know, they've had all that extra time to get honed in on this car. Obviously, these guys are very, very talented anyway. They don't need the extra practice, but they've used it, and it's going to make for an interesting race today.
And as qualifying ended, here are your qualifying results. Starting on pole, it's Brian James Home, followed by Ashley Beard, Jamie Ayers, Nick McKieran, Peter Van Gould, Jason Cooper, Adam McAnally, Steve Hesford, Kip Stevens, Dave Hampson, Cesar Rizzo, and Lee Dimmer, your top 12.
I would love to take the next part of the grid away, but unfortunately my screen's just crashed right now. Bear with me for 2 seconds. Do you want to go through the rest of the grid while I get that rebooted?
Exactly. It'll be James McFerrucci starting at 13th, followed by Ben Sharp, Alex Rivette, Tyler Dybomb Maxon, Carl Jacqueline, Martin Sampson, Stephen Baxter, Benjamin Mises, Rob Graham, Carl Hardy, David Ayers, Joseph Mitchell, followed by Scott Malcolm, Andy Maxwell, Ralph Colliam, Vuta, Craig Jones, Dale Benson, Mikey Key, Steve Hanser, Phil Regan, Niels Carlson, Matthew Emery, and Luke Cooper.
You know what? 10 out of 10 for pronunciation on a lot of those names.
I'm still going. Followed by Jack Ashton, Stuart Dick, Yoram Ursum, Max Wright, Abdulkir Almari, Joe McDonald, Adam Delmont, Charles Kellyman, and Liam Silkstone following up the grid, as it is a standing start for race 1. The lights are out, and away they go for round 1 here at Monza to start off the BSR MX5 Pro Series.
So these guys are going to charge away, and if I'm correct in saying, we don't have a first chicane for this race, which means we've got a very long right-hander, which sounds like, okay, you know, it's not that complicated, don't worry about it. But then we've got an insane left-right complex, which is going to cook these guys right.
Yeah, expect the braking zone going to be absolutely chaotic as these cars are going 3-4 wide in the background. But looking at this massive fight, it's Holmes, Ayers, and Beard all battling out for the lead, but Holmes and Ayers going side by side. Look for Beard to go down the inside and make this a 3 wide into the braking zone. All of them lock up their brakes. Who's going to go into their first? It's going to be Holmes taking the lead.
I think we've measured a little bit getting squirrely there, but the number 2 coming out of that chicane right there. We've got some pretty clean racing so far. I'm glad to see that. We've got all our guys safe so far. No manic moments yet, but we've still got a long race to go. 15 minutes in MX5. It's quite a while to go.
Yeah, 15 minutes of absolute carnage as, oh, we got a car going around. That is Samson. Peter Van Gool is around right there of Lesbo 2. I believe we spoke way too early right there.
Yeah, I'll take fault for that. That was my bad. I should have said nothing. If I stay quiet, then we don't have to worry. No one wrecks each other. The moment I seem to say anything, it messes it up.
As we head into Ascari, Holmes leads out Ayers and Beard. Going into Ascari, Excite SimLab and Excite Racing of the SimLabs car all drafting with each other as these 4 have pulled away from the pack. All the way from Rizzo down in 5th.
I was going to say, that is quite a mighty fine lead to get on turn 1, but, you know, part of that is, I think, did they get caught up in that little, that spin earlier, coming out the right-hander?
Yeah, he actually was. The spin might have caused a few problems outside of Lesmo, but I believe more of that was done in the braking zone for Ascari, because it is just such a sudden braking zone around 75 meters out from the apex, as they're all fanning out right now as they enter the straight and going 3 wide, and I believe they're going to go 4 wide very soon. Yeah, they are. This is beautiful to look at.
That should not happen. There should be laws against this. 4 wide should not happen.
Yeah. Well, it looks like McKieran has backed away smartly as they head around Curva Grande. And, ooh, up the inside, Beard snipes first place.
Yeah, that was a wonderful little move. Used a little bit of the grass, but you know what? He made the move. No contact, so I'll take that. I'll take that. It's pretty clear. Coming up to the chicane for the second time here. That is some mighty fine aggressive racing from the guys in the middle of the pack, that's for sure.
Yeah, side by side they go through the chicane. You won't see this in upper series, but in the MX5, you get these things side by side almost through every corner right now as they go into the Lesmo turns. This battle for second. Unfortunately, that is McNally around the outside. A little bit of loose goes Hefford. No, McKieran up onto the inside. And Lesmo 2, that's where we saw the first crash of this race, and they've all made it through there cleanly.
He's taking a very adventurous line going on the back. I didn't get a chance to see who that was, but that was high, wide, and handsome.
Yeah, just as I said that, it was very, very crazy. As we head into Ascari, Ashley Beard and Jamie Ayers are leading out the field once more. Pretty calm race at the front. A little bit of damage for that one car. That is, I believe that is Baxter. Steven Baxter has a lot of damage on that front nose, so he might have got it to somebody in the braking zone.
Yeah, I'm mighty impressed with how guys. Ooh, don't want to say anything just yet. I'm not going to say anything. If I say it, it will happen. I'm going to let him go 3 wide through Parabolica. It's fine. Don't worry about it. This is perfectly fine. They made it. I mean, that was slight excessive track limits there, but they are racing hard.
These guys are putting up some insane times. 2:03 is the fastest time by Steve Hefford right now, and that honestly is a qualifying time, more like it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, how much? I don't actually know how much time, like, in seconds, draft is. Ooh, sneaking through the middle. Go on, son. Oh,
4 wide through Curva Grande. A little bit of touch, but Steven Baxter snipes the gap after just absolute battle. And oh, and there's a crash behind it. That is Bailey, Deemer, Cooper involved in that. Oh, big hit for Deemer. See, he comes back onto the track. Look on. Okay, yeah, he's just gonna do the smart thing and teleport back. We're gonna have a little bit of a replay for this. Deemer in the middle of this group trying to pressure up the inside and unfortunately gets into that one car, gets himself turned through Curva Grande. Only those 2 cars were affected by it. Deemer taking the big bite out of it though, unfortunately.
Yeah, you do tend to forget how wide the, well, I wouldn't even say runoff areas, but the gravel traps are here. So, I mean, yeah, okay, you've got narrow sections like this, but you've also got, like, Scary, you've got a nice wide gravel trap that, yeah, it's not fun to go through the middle of it. I know we saw some off-roading going on during the end of qualifying, just as we look down from the old oval at the top of the straight here. But it does make for some interesting sort of, you get the chance to push the limit as we see one of the drivers going in on the inside. What's that, the number 80 car, just coming around now to the outside.
Yeah, that is Martin Sampson, and on his back is Tyler Maxson. You heard him in the commentary box last season here on Apex Racing TV for the BSR Pro Series. I took his spot as he went onto the track, and he is a pro for year 1 racing and in real life driving these things, as he earned himself the nickname of Tyler Diebomb Maxson in the Amateur Cup, and he's going around the outside of Martin Sampson right now for P19 as these 2 are going to go side by side. His race has been a little bit of adventurous. Oh, they get into it, and right onto his roof goes Martin Sampson. And you have no control, and thankfully he stays on the off-road of the track, but he's going to get his car towed. I was so glad we saw that. Martin Sampson getting a little bit loose, and these 2 banged each other, and he's going to take a little bit of a roll.
Yeah, I was going to say, it doesn't seem like the ideal line. They were racing nice and hard there, but unfortunately sometimes that does cause some rubbins racing, a little bit the old argy-bargy, as I like to call it. As we see some more drivers coming through, I believe coming into the first Lesmo just after this corner.
Yeah, that was the first and only chicane of this track. I don't really count a Scar as chicane. I know a lot of people say it's chicane. I don't think so. I just think of it more flowing turns. I'm crazy though,
Yeah.
but this is the leading group, and just look at all these cars with each other.
We've still got some great nose to tail action going on here, and you're right. I mean, Ascari it's a left-right left complex. I guess that's like kind of a chicane, but it doesn't feel like that one. But it's also one of those corners where too wide. Do you ever think it can work?
Yeah, no, maybe we're about to see it. As Holmes and Ayers, they make it through cleanly, so yes. But they can't hold it out there right now. But actually, no, Ayers gets a little bit loose on the exit, a little bit tight, but they keep it going out. And just look at this massive slipstream battle right now.
I mean, I've got to stop saying stuff. The moment I say stuff like, is it going to work? It just ends up happening.
Well, hey, you set up the question perfectly as they're going side by side through Parabolica. Hefford and Stevens right now. We look at Jamie Ayers, and oh, that is Stevens. And look on the back, that is the number 2 Simlabs car. He's going to try to split the gap once more. And we're going to go 4 wide again, probably.
How many 4 wides do you reckon you can fit into one race?
Well, in normal circumstances, I would say 1. In this race, apparently 2 right now.
I mean, they just aren't giving an inch. They are wrestling for every inch on this track, and I can understand why. You know, you get a bit of a lead here. Yeah, okay, drafted. Quite a big issue when it comes to, you know, you've got guys behind you. Doesn't mean he's going to stay there, right? You can just chuck it into the next corner. But that's the interesting part about losing that first chicane. There's one less chance for you to someone just throw it in as we see him going into our beloved chicane here.
Yeah, into the chicane, a little bit of 2-wheel action on board. Kip Stevens pushing the other car off track, but he's letting that Excite car, McNally, back onto track as they head into the first Lesmo. A little bit of tricky, a little bit of different lines happening for everybody. Kip Stevens around the outside, a little bit of off-road adventure right now. And returns back onto the track right now, but just a slipstreaming and getting this group fast, because it was just 4 cars leading off this race, and now they're all back up with each other.
I'm just thinking other cars going wrong. Has anyone told them that we haven't changed to a rallycross series this season?
It wasn't in the rules.
Heck the rules. We're getting good racing. I'm loving it.
Great racing right now. It's a little switchback move up the inside. James Holmes takes the lead going into Ascari. Curb hopping all as well as they fly down the straight once more. Holmes, Hefford, Beard, Ayers, McNally's, Stevens, Hampson, McKieran, and Rizzo. Ben Sharp might be on the tail end of this group.
I can see him catching up here. Now, we've seen 2 wide through Parabolica. 3 wide. Come on, boys. I want to see it. This is my goal for the race now. I want to see 3 wide through Parabolica.
Well, we have 3 races to do it. They're getting very dicey. Hefford and McNally getting onto the grass just a little bit. But on the exit, Hefford's got to run. This is looking like a NASCAR race right now with all the draft battling we're having. Right now, Holmes, under pressure, he's leading off. He's going to be like a sail in the wind as they're going, say it with me now, 4 wide.
4 wide. Oh, I love these guys. They've got guts. They've got cojones. They're really going for it today.
Okay, they inched out 4 wide and went immediately back to 3 wide, setting danger. But honestly, it's just beautiful to watch.
I mean, like, I 2 by 2. By 2 almost. Guys.
This ain't Noah's Ark. This is Monza. And up the inside, that's Kip Stevens trying to hold his way in there. He found a gap. He's going to merge on way in there. He's going to hold it around the outside and gain a lot of positions. What a move by Kip Stevens. Up to 4th now.
What did he gain? 3 positions there? 4?
I think, yeah, I believe he was in 7th going into that and gained 3 right there. But great move by Kip Stevens. He's going to get another one as he's setting up David Ayers. Up the inside. Jamie Ayers onto the outside of the car, but Kip Stevens got the draft, and Kip Stevens might try to make it, but look at Ashley Beard now. Beard making it 3 wide through one of the tightest sections of track heading into Ascari.
I
We
mean,
might have another 4 wide. We might have another 4 wide. Look at McNally.
Oh, oh God. I don't have work. Okay, no, it's cool. It's cool. They went through single file. It's fine. We're good. Panic over.
All right, you can panic more in races 2 and 3.
We've still got it all to come. But the looks of it, we've still got like 2 minutes left of this.
I must say, you know how this leading group was just 10 cars? It's now like the top 15.
I mean, that's what happens when you go 4 wide. Apparently, 3 wide, 3 parabolic. Oh, you know, I'll take it. I'll take it. Number 5 going rather adventurously wide there, but he's going to get a great run coming off the corner. Maybe tuck back into the slipstream a little bit if he can. But this is starting to go 2 wide again now. If we were placing bets, I'm going to go 4 wide. Are we
You know what? Yeah, let's place your bets in chat. Bets in chat. How probability of 4 wide? I would say 100%. Actually, we might see 5 wide very soon.
If that happens, I can't. I can't.
Oh, they're trying for it right now. A little bit of bump. They're bump drafting down the front straight. Ayers and Hefford were bump drafting down that front straight.
I mean, this isn't Daytona. This shouldn't work, and I love it.
This is Monza, the temple of speed, and just by the way these guys are running, and love it. Oh, David Ayers gets turned. He takes out another SimLab car in the process, and that is 3 cars caught out. Ashley Beard, one of the Excite cars is caught out in there. The other SimLabs car was Rizzo caught out. As absolute chaos is broken out here with 2 laps to go here in Monza.
It had to happen, right?
They were playing with fire, honestly. By going that crazy. There was bump draft, there was going 3 wide through Curva Grande into that braking zone. It looked like a little bit of grass happened into the braking zone, which made him get turned. So if we had a replay of that, that would be great.
I mean, there was a lot going on in that. I couldn't quite see who caused what. I only caught it when the SimLabs car was kind of like, you know, facing the wrong way on the track, which is less than ideal, shall we say. But also drawing attention to what's that? Oh, I think we get a replay here.
Yeah, we're watching Jamie Ayers as they head into the braking zone, and it looks like Holmes got into the back of him.
Yeah, I think Ayers moved over a little bit to the right just to try and, because you can't hug the inside on that left-hander. If you do that, you're either going to roll the car going over the curb, or you're just not going to be able to make it and not be able to hold on to the position. So I don't think he had too much choice there. I think that's him being done for the day.
Yeah, done for race 1, because remember, we still have 2 races after it. Honestly, if it's just 1 race, I would be happy for it right now, because this has just been awesome seeing the action at the front. And usually the action gets crazier and crazier as the race goes on, as Hampson, Holmes, and Hefford are now your leading pack, as we have 1 lap to go.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see, maybe next season we change the rule set. We say you have to use the same car for each race. No repairs, you just go with it.
That would be pretty hard to do over different sessions, but we'll see. So they head into the chicane. Holmes leading out Hampson and Hefford. A little bit of off track for Hampson, and here comes Hefford up the inside. Hefford on the inside of Hampson. He's going to swing back into the group, and he's going to take 2nd place as they enter the Lesmos. But he goes, oh, Holmes goes wide. He's recovered it, though.
A few people behind him decided to take the same line.
Hey, last lap, all or nothing, all or nothing. As Holmes weaving around the track, trying to break the draft of Hefford and Hampson as they approach Ascari. Hefford going around the outside. Holmes holding the inside line into Ascari. Hampson is going to sit back there, but they're going to go side by side into Ascari, into the brake zone. Hefford's going to take it. Followed by Holmes and Hampson. Mick Ritchie is catching them, but I don't think they can catch him that much. Hefford swinging to the outside and then back to the inside, trying to break the draft as much as they can, as we're going to enter Parabolica for 1 last time. Is it going to be 2 wide? Is it going to be 3 wide? We shall see. Hampson, he's going to try to make it 3 wide. A little bit of contact between Holmes and Hefford. Holmes takes the lead around the outside. Heifer holding it slow onto the inside, but he's going to have the shorter amount of track. Heifer's going to take the win. Holmes around the outside. They're going to go side by side as they approach the line. It's going to be a photo finish right now. Here comes Hampson as it's going to be a little bit of a butt trap, and Heifer's going to take the win.
I mean, he got a little bit of assistance there. That was. Woo.
That was a great battle for the lead, but the battle's not over as the battle for 13th goes to Maxwell as this entire group is finishing up right now. But what a finish we saw. I believe that was 3/10 separating the leaders.
Yeah, I was going to say, I also love the casual 3 wide for 13th place as they go across the line.
It was a giant pack of cars just trying to get past the turns. We still have a few cars out on track, 36th, 37th, and 38th right now. Actually, 37th, we might have had it. Nope, that's where one of the cars retired right there. That's Mikey Key being the last out track. Let's give him some camera time right now. See, he has a casual off-track excursion. He's had a rough race today, as you can tell by how much his car is beat up, but what a race we saw.
I mean, I want to pick a favorite moment, and I can't. Can I say from, like, when, just after they left the start-finish line, probably up until, just before they crossed the finish line? I'd say that would be my favorite part, the 15 minutes in between.
The best race you've ever seen?
I'd go with that. I know, like, it's really easy to, like, overhype it, but genuinely, you don't see racing like this, like, that often.
It honestly, you rarely see racing like this, and through the 5 years I've been doing commentary, it's it's awesome. And I believe we do have our results ready for us right now. Do we? Believe so.
Babby, do you want to talk us through the results when we get the chance?
Yes, we do. Steve Heifer takes the win by 0.3 of a second, followed by Brian James Holm and Dave Hampson in that winning podium and winning 3 drivers. Honestly, they were up at the front, and it was just great. They're followed by Adam McNally, James McRitchie, Kip Stevens, Nick McKieran, Ben Sharp, our winning amateur driver, followed by Carl Jacqueline, Jason Cooper, Carl Hardy, Benjamin Miras, Andy Maxwell, Adam Dilmont, Stephen Baxter, Joseph Mitchell, Stuart Dick, Ralph Collingham. And behind them is Tyler Maxon, Jack Ashton, Luke Cooper, Liam Silkstone, Charles Kellerman, David Ayers, Scott Malcolm, Jerome Ursum, Phil Reagan, Peter Van Gool in 28th place, starting in and finishing in 29th, Rob Graham, Niels Karlstrom, Dale Bennison, Max Wright, Steve Hansford, Joel McDonald, Abor Al Emery, Craig Jones, Ashley Beard, Mikey Key, Alex Rivette, Cesar Rizzo, Jamie Ayers, Martin Sampson, Lee Deemer, Wouter Van Essen, Matthew Emery, finishing up in 45th place.
And will that finish us off?
And I believe that will finish us off. And now it's time to bring up the Wheel of Fortune for the reverse grid.
Yes. Let's see if it actually comes up. There we go. Now you should see the wheel on your screen, and let's just spin it. And what the wheel gives us, it is 15.
So the wheel landing on 15, I believe that will put, trying to find who finished in 15th this race. There are 45 cars to choose and just enough space for me to see it. Well, oh, it's going to be Stephen Baxter starting on pole. But after a crazy race for race 1, we're going to be back after a short break for another awesome race. The wheel has spoken for us, and we'll be back in just a short moment for race 2 out of 3 here in Monza. Howdy, 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 everybody, and welcome back for round 2 of 3 here for the BSR Pro Series in Monza. The wheel has spun, and here is your grid for race 2. It looks like it's another standing start. Steven Baxter starts on pole, followed by Adam Delmar, Andy Maxwell, Benjamin Mias, Carl Hardy, Jason Cooper, Carl Jacqueline, Ben Sharp, Nick McKeer, Kip Stevens, James McRitchie, and Alan McNally in 12th.
That will be followed up by Dave Hampson in 13th, Brian J. Holmes in 14th, Steve Hefford, Joseph Mitchell, Stuart Dick, Ralph Cullinan, Tyler Maxon, Jack Ashton, Luke Cooper, Liam Silkstone, Charles Kellerman, and David Ayers in 24th.
Following them is Scott Malcolm, Jerome Ursum, Peter Reagan, Peter Van Gool, Rob Graham, Nick Carlson, Dale Bennison, Max Wright, Steve Hansford, Joe McDonald, Alboud Al Amri, and Craig Jones.
And following just behind them, Ashley Beard, Mikey Key, Alex River. I can't speak that fast!
And following up the greatest Matthew Every, as the lights are on, and away they go for race number 2 for the BSR Pro Series.
Okay, what are the bets for lap 1 here? My bet, absolute mayhem. Brilliant racing, the best combination.
Alright, Tubsy's a madman. As they're going to go side by side, looks like they're going to try and go 3 wide. That is Mias in the second spot. We have an amateur leading the race. You can tell the amateurs by the green stripe on their cars, on the sunstrip, and in the timing tower. And that is Baxter, the top pro, going side by side into the braking zone. Who's going to have the best line? Who's going to be the latest of the late breakers? Into turn 1 they go. Baxter up the inside, but it's going to be Andy Maxwell leading out the race. They're going 2 wheel time, 2x2 and 2 wheel time in the braking zone. We're looking at Tyler Maxon. He's already made up a few spots. He's already made up 2, 3, 4. Oh, massive crash! That was a massive crash out on the exit of Westmo 1. Well, you win that bet. I'll send your $5 in via PayPal.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, that was... I didn't get a chance to see what happened there. I managed to see them going through the chicane, and then afterwards there didn't seem to be as much carnage. But we've got a great battle still going on between Baxter and Maxwell. Nice to see some pros and amateurs getting a tussle for the lead right off the bat there.
Yeah, as they head into Ascari right now. See, Mira's getting a little bit loose in the braking zone, but he is all over Andy Maxwell, and all over him, that is Jason Cooper. He's going to swing to the outside and begin the slipstream fest.
Yeah, we've got to be careful here. Make sure that Baxter doesn't run away with it. If these guys get tussling, then he might have a chance to run away. The draft is strong here, as we see him going 2x2 into Parabolica almost. As we prepare to go down the home straight. Nice to have a look at the replay to see what happened earlier on in the chicane. But for now, we've got a great battle coming in for the top 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I can count. Don't worry about that. I can count. It's 7.
A little bit of contact was Cooper as they're headed 3 wide right there. That almost was a 4 wide group. It looks like they're about to make a 4 wide as that orange car is swinging to the inside. That is one of the sim labs right there making it 3 wide, but that is such a tightly condensed pack. They're trying to run away from everyone else right now as they enter Curva Grande.
We've got some real Daytona style Talladega pack racing going on here. Nice to see the front leaders giving each other enough room. The Robbins racing, they seem to be going pretty well here. No major incidents, obviously, apart from the terrible accident that we saw coming out of the chicane. Are we going to see 2 wide going through here? Yes, we are!
Yes, we are. A little bit of curb hopping, a little bit of off-track excursions, making room for everybody. Great clean racing happening right now in this opening pack. They're going to go 2 wide each other. That is Maxwell and Sampson going side by side into the first Lesmo turn. And a little bit of turn into each other right there. And a little bit of a bump draft from, I think that was, off into the gravel. That was one of the Excite cars getting into each other. That was the 58 of Brian J. Holmes getting in that last race winner. Yeah, Brian J. Holmes already back into the fight for the lead after last round. So he might try to go for the sweep.
Yeah, we're going to see some more 2 wide action almost through Ascari there. Also, shout out to Jason Cooper, getting 5 positions so far this race, and he's starting to build up a bit of a great lead here.
That lead is definitely going to fall down, but yeah, he does have a lead over all the cars but the slipstream is so strong that, oh, we got a,
no.
Oh, something massive has just happened in Ascar. That's Kip Stevens doing a little bit of donuts. We're on board lead dimmer. Unfortunately, he is involved in another incident. I believe this was, oh, that's Kip Stevens getting turned by Rivette. Rivette turning Kip Stevens, which unfortunately has taken out another bystander, one of the amateur drivers, and that is one populated pit lane.
I was going to say, that is a fun day for the mechanics coming back to repair those cars. I feel a little bit unfortunate for Kip there. He seems to have taken a beating worse for wear on the suspension of that car. Doesn't seem to want to go in a straight line, which at Monza is never really going to serve you well.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's not serving him well, as Cooper McCurry, Baxter, and Sharp are your leading 4-pack. And Cooper McCurry, Cooper up on the inside. McCurry gets into the grass and the brake zone. He's recovering it right now. And the Sim Lads versus V Racer on the exit. McCurry and Baxter, and leading out that group. Jason Cooper is leading this field by a second right now. And through the Lesmo, he's definitely going to have a good lead. That's about for 6th place right now. No, 7th place. That is Mias Maxwell and Jacques Gillette. They're trying to catch up to the leading pack.
Yeah, it seems like Jason Cooper seems to be really strong through the second sector. I feel like he gets a good run out of the chicane to kind of build up a lead. But going into the Parabolica down one of the longest straights in the Formula 1 calendar, it's really hard to maintain that when you've got someone behind you just eating away at that draft every meter that goes by. It just seems to make that gain just disappear.
Yeah, the gain is definitely going to disappear as Cooper is still building that gap through Ascar, but watch that gap fall if these two stay in the draft. And I think we might see some bump drafting once more, but they're going to separate each other and switch positions as they head into the Parabolica.
Yeah, we managed to do it. No, do it pretty safely as well. The guys starting to pack up a little bit, seeing less and less of the 3 wide, less and less of the 4 wide, and it looks like they're going to need to do that if we want to have a chance of catching Cooper. They need to work together at this point.
Yeah, teamwork, even if you're on different teams, will make the dream work as we see the draft separating. And they're going to go 2 wide down the front straight to try to chase down Jason Cooper in the Swift Cooper Esports car.
That is some impressive bump draft in there. These guys are really going at it.
Yeah. Brian James Holmes takes over the lead as they make it 3 wide through Curva Grande.
And they make it work. I never get bored of it, and I never stop being impressed at these guys' ability to make pack racing work in pretty much any scenario that you can imagine.
I believe almost every lap we saw, they've made it go 3 wide through there. And we've seen that around 13 times today, and it's not getting old.
And it's... No, we're fine. That's fine. For some reason, I thought I saw someone spinning off in the background, but we're all good to go. So it looks like I can't see at the moment. What's the gap? Jason Cooper seems to have built up a little bit more of a lead at the moment. Can't quite pull away well enough. Can't manage to sort of get out of that half-second gap where we can really start laying the hammer down. But still consistently first. The battle between Holmes, Baxter, McCarron, and now McCritchie as well coming into the mix on that. The top 5. They're battling between themselves, but like I said earlier, if they want to have a chance of really catching up to Cooper as we see that time drag down, they need to start packing up, getting close to him, and saving that battle maybe for the last couple of laps.
Yeah, as you're talking about that, we're looking at the battle in the midfield.
Number 39 here, we've got Ashley Beard coming up. Chasing down the car in front of him as we see him going a little bit too wide. Car's a little bit hoppy at the moment. Suspension, it's set up quite stiff for a track like this. Don't need to have a nice soggy suspension, but that does mean that those curbs, as we saw in the the Formula 3 race here last weekend, you can get quite airborne at Monza.
Yeah, thankfully the driver was saved in there. As we return back for the lead, they have caught up to Cooper, and Jay Holmes and Baxter and McKieran are all in that. Look at that beautiful bump draft in an MX5 car, pushing Cooper back into the lead. Great work by Stephen Baxter from Swift Cooper Esports. And I believe that is a 1-2 for them right there. Great use of teamwork right now.
Yeah, we were talking about a second.
Around the outside, he's taking a look, but I don't think he's going to try and move up the inside, but he's setting himself up into the brake zone. Is he going to try to steal it? A little bit squirmy in the brake zone, but Holmes sends it into second place.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think you're going to lick the stamp any harder than that. Managed to do a job of getting that. You can see the rear end of the car just twitching, getting unhappy as we see someone getting real squirrely behind us coming out of the chicane.
That was Carl Jacqueline. No, that was Tyler Maxson, who got extremely squirrely on the exit. The Amateur Cup winner of Season 3 last season, which you could have seen Tyler Maxson. No, he was not the winner. That was Carl Jacqueline, his teammate. Tyler Maxson holds the consistent race winner record of 6 races in a row. That's the record. Okay.
There we go. There we go. Carl Jacqueline,
I have my stats make up. They're right next to each other, so.
That's why you got your little notebook there with all your interesting facts of the series.
This little chasing pack trying to chase down the leading 6 of Cooper, Holmes, Baxter, McKeon, Sharp, and McRitchie as they're entering Parabolica right now, as Jacqueline and Mias going side by side into the Parabolica just after him. And those are some beautiful orange chromed wheels. So he goes wide, avoids the gravel, and comes back onto track.
You a fan of chrome? I'm not sure how I feel about chrome.
I like chrome.
You're a chrome man?
Yeah, I like chrome. I'm American. I like all things shiny.
Shiny and loud.
Heck yeah. We have a car stopped on the front straight.
For some reason, my brain naturally went to, oh, it's a safety car. And I was like, wait, hang on a minute. What?
No, it's Kip Stevens. Kip Stevens is stopped on the front straight, and he is crab walking his car down the road. I believe Kip was involved in that earlier wreck.
Yeah, was he?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was coming out of the pits. He was caught in that wreck of his car, and I was wondering if he was part of this opening group, but no, there were 6 cars, and all these 6 cars are still here as they went into that chicane side by side into the break.
Yeah, and Jason Cooper still maintaining this lead. He hasn't got a big lead, but it's hard to gain here at Monza. But he's managed to have a substantial domination over the past few laps.
As they're heading down the straight, they have pulled away from the rest of the field. They're going to go 3 wide and giving the top 3 once again going 3 wide, and the chasing 3 going to keep into them as this group has pulled away from everybody. They're going to go side by side into Ascari. A little bit squirrely with each other, almost a little bit turning, getting caught up on the wheels and on the curbs. They have all bunched up once again. And they're going to be separated 2 by 2. Right side, left side, or straight through the middle goes Jay Holmes.
Yeah, this is when, coming up here, we've got one more turn, and then we're coming into 2 laps to go. This is when you want to hammer down. That teamwork we were talking about earlier, throw it out the window. Fight for every inch.
Well, there's almost 2 of every team in here. I believe the Asmetech and Fury Sinsport are the only ones, as that is...
A very sad-looking Mazda going into the pits there.
Yeah, I don't know who that is going into the pits. So we look at that battle for first right now. Jacqueline, it's at the tail end on that left side. You can see him in the year 1. The Asmatech car of Baxter also in there. James McRitchie in the Asmatech. Stephen Baxter of that Switch Cooper Esports. And I believe they're bump drafting once more. And around the outside comes Jay Holmes as Cooper leads out his inside line as they're going to go side by side into the first chicane once more with 2 laps remaining. Cooper laid on the brakes and he's going to take the lead.
I think we were seeing 3 deep bump.
Oh, no, there goes Holmes into the wall. Race 1 winner unfortunately goes into the wall. That is absolutely devastating for the Excite driver. We're going to take a replay from his view. He gets crossed over by Cooper, gets cut off, gets onto the curb, runs onto the gravel, and unfortunately applies the loud pedal just a little bit too much. It goes into the wall.
Yeah, I mean, no one writes the rule book on what you do when an MX5 got 2 wheels in the air and you're fighting for position. You got to put the pedal down. And it's just such a small margin for error at that point.
Yeah, and he is suffering from some suspension damage, so he's going to take that car very easily. And that is great sportsmanship by Cooper. Holmes just keeping the car parked right before the apex to let other cars pass. So, applaud to you, Brian James Holmes. Unfortunately, taking out contention for race win number 2 in the season.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's the end of his race for the moment, but we've still got Cooper battling out for his race lead at the moment. Top 5 still, well, we've got 6 cars in the lead pack now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I can't count. There's 5 cars in the lead pack right now. They pulled out quite a substantial lead, and they seem to be gaining. It's just the power of the draft here that you can see. They are fighting, they are scrabbling, but that 2 wide, 3 deep, again, this kind of NASCAR pack racing style that they're going for, it's just dragging them away. So now for the last lap here, why not throw it all at the wall and see what sticks?
Well, it is white flag time here in Monza. They're going to go 3 wide down the front straight. Mick Ritchie and Jack Gillette watching the action unfold ahead of him. McKieran takes the lead with Baxter right behind with Cooper, Mick Ritchie, and Ben Sharp. Have I been saying Jack Gillette this entire time?
It's fine. Don't worry about it. Like, going into here, we're going to see 2x2 going into the chicane here. And I want to see, does it work? Can we make it stick? Very large jump there from the first car position.
Yeah, this might have turned into a rallycross race a little bit. Sharp and McRitchie thinking the same thing as they blocked each other going into Lesmo 1. And I believe there was a car just absolutely murdering that chicane behind him and suffering that slowdown penalty. Don't know who that was. This, all the leaders, you saw the Tiny Tower all go red. That was all the leaders simultaneously going off track. These guys separate just a little bit. Yeah.
I mean, use some of the bit that's not the road. Screw it, just go for it.
Yeah. Maximize all the speed into Ascari. Baxter is under pressure by Cooper, who's fought his way back up to first in this group. Cooper's got the inside line down the straight. And he's got McKieran and McRitchie and Sharp all with them in that bottom line. No one's getting the troll. Here goes McKieran up onto the outside now.
Gonna see some 2
into Parabolka. Here it comes Cooper. He's moved up 5 points, but he goes wide into the gravel. And up the inside goes McKieran. Cooper and McKieran. They're going to go side by side. They're going to go 3 wide. Down into the front straight once again. Across the line, it's going to be Baxter taking the win.
Yeah, it was a bit unfortunate there, getting a little bit wide out of Parabolica. Couldn't quite get the run, you know, less grip on gravel, unfortunately. Cars aren't built for it. But that was a really intense battle for not just the top 5, but just for the whole race, just battling it out.
Yeah, Stephen Baxter taking the win by, we had 3/10 the first time. 9/100ths of a second. 300ths of a second the first time. This finish was by 900, so not as close as the first time, but Stephen Baxter for Swift Cooper Esports takes the win when Jason Cooper tried the outside line, unfortunately gets into the gravel, but 2 Swift Cooper drivers stand on the podium as we got some great bump drafting from Lee Deemer.
That's great sportsmanship right there.
Yeah, unfortunately, Beard suffered an incident as a bit of suspension damage, and Deemer is going to give him a little bit of a bump draft through Parabolica.
I mean, absolute great sportsmanship here, just pushing each other across the line. Absolutely wonderful. And as you were saying earlier about the victory, you know, it's a great series when you turn around and say, oh, it's okay, he only won it by 900ths of a second. It wasn't 300ths. How great is the racing then?
It still was a great race. I just want to have a list of the closest finish in BSR ahead of me, and that was the second closest finish in BSR MX5 this series. I like stats, okay?
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that, man. It's always good to know what you're talking about. I like.
Well, as that race has concluded, let's bring up the results, and JJ, bring us through.
Okay, so we've got your race winner, Stephen Baxter, by 0.093 seconds, which is a very impressive last-minute takeover there. Following him is Nick McCarron, Jason Cooper, Ben Sharp, James McRitchie, Tyler Max, and Benjamin Mears. Charles Kellerman, Max Wright, Matthew Emery, Jack Ashton, Scott Malcolm, Jamie Ayres, David Ayres, Drone Urson, Peter Van Gool, Al Amory, Adam Delmont.
Following them, finishing in 19th, is going to be Phil Regan, Stuart Dick, Martin Sampson, Andy Maxwell, Vuta Van Essen, Niels Carlson, Dale Bennison, Steve Hansford, Cesar Risso, and Craig Jones.
And just following Craig Jones, we've got Joe McDonald, Ashley Beard, Lee Deemer, Carl Jackalette, Brian J. Holmes, Luke Cooper, Mikey Key, Alex Rivet, Kip Stevens, and Joseph Mitchell.
They're followed up by Rob Graham, Steve Hefford, Adam Ganali, Carl Hardy, Ralph Culliam, Dave Hampson, and Liam Silkstone. Unfortunately, finishing it out and caught up in that opening lap crash.
There's quite a lot of big names that ended up getting caught in some mid-race shenanigans there, which is unfortunate then, but we've still got race 3 to claw it back.
Yeah, we still have race 3 to go back, so please welcome back into the booth. It's Sebao Kumo to spin that wheel.
Yeah, that was also just like the first race. So let's see if we can this time get the big reverse grid. So the wheel is spinning and I'm not sure about you guys, but I'm hoping for a 40. It's not gonna be 40, but it is -4.
Alright, -4 is going to be the result, and I believe that was the magic number for absolute, just craziness, so y'all are going to enjoy this next race. But, yeah, time to take a little bit of a break as we get everything settled up for next race. I hope you guys are ready. Race 2 out of 3 is in the books, and we'll be right back after these short messages for Race 3 of the BSR MX5 Pro Series. Howdy, 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 everybody, and welcome back for one and final time to the BSR MX5 Pro Series here at Monza. The wheel has been spun. It's been a -4 as Cesar Rizzo starts on pole, followed by Tyler Maxson, Nick McKieran, Joe McDonald, Albert Al Emery, Wutefan Essen, Max Wright, Lee Deemer, Jerome Ursum, Stuart Dick, Jack Ashton, Steven Baxter, and behind them it is Kip Stevens, Peter Van Gool, Jamie Ayers, Luke Cooper, James McRitchie, Matthew Emery, Adam McNally, Ashley Beard, Steve Heffer, Jason Cooper, Brian J. Holmes, and Dave Hampson in 24th. Following up in 25th place is Niels Carlson, Adam Delmont, Charles Kellyman, Andy Maxwell, Ralph Cullen, Ben Sharp, Steve Hansford, Rob Graham, Scott Malcolm, Benjamin Miras, Liam Silkstone, Carl Hardy, Craig Jones, Dale Bennison, Phil Regan, Mikey Key, David Ayers, Joseph Mitchell, and Carl Jacqueline in 43rd place. The grid has gotten smaller, and the lights are going on, and we have a false start on the grid, and the lights are out, and away we go. All the false starts have happened, and I believe the black flags are for a few of the drivers. I think Cesar Rizzo was one of the cars that had that false start.
It's just one of those things. It takes one driver to just get a little bit too goes, and then it's just like a domino effect. Another one goes, and then another one goes, and they keep going.
Yeah, I don't know if the black flags are being cleared for these guys. Standing starts usually are more harsh than rolling starts with the black flag. So they're going 3 wide through Kermit Grande. Lap 1, Rizzo and McKieran are leading out the field as all these as this massive pack of MX5 cars comes scrimming into the first chicane.
We've got some off-road action going on the back of the pack as the leaders start to take the first chicane.
3 wide into there. I must say, 3 wide. On the exit, a little bit squirrely, but everyone's having a little bit of off-track excursion adventures, but they're taking it slow and steady through there. No one incidents through there. Everyone's made it clean. Well, as I spoke to earlier, there was a car that was parked up on the inside of the chicane exit as McKieran and Maxson make it through the Lesmo 1. Tyler Maxson, new to the Pro Series, got his car locked up behind him, and I believe Rizzo has had an incident and he's fallen back.
Yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate there. He's got a little bit of a gap in front of him, so I think there was a bit of an issue there. Didn't quite manage to catch what went on. But we seem to be single filing up a little bit at the moment. But are we going to see a repeat of the last race? You know, they start to single file out, and then all of a sudden, bang! Pack racing 4 wide.
Yes.
Yes.
We raced here a few seasons ago, and it formed out exactly how you said it. You see everyone's taking it safely. Lap 1, lap 2, everyone's starting to bring it back as Tyler Maxson takes over the lead, and he's going to lead out this race. And now we're going to see who has had that false start. But Tyler Maxson, yep, there goes Rizzo serving his penalty. I believe he's going to be joined by a few other drivers going into the pit lane. There is one of the year 1 cars, another car. There are 4 cars into the pit lane. I believe there might have been 5 involved in that, but no, it was just these 4. They're
I'm
serving
correct in
the
saying with
penalties.
iRacing black flag rules, they have up to 3 laps to serve it?
Yes.
It's good they managed to come in together. They come in with a couple other... The last thing you want to do is end up 40, 50 seconds behind everyone because you've been in the pits, and then you have no one to draft with to help you catch up.
Yeah, and very unfortunate for Rizzo. Rizzo didn't uncheck, he's taking tires and fuel. He unfortunately didn't have his tires unchecked, and he's replacing his tires right now and serving a longer pit stop than everybody else, as they're going all over the place in the chicane right behind him, as we're looking at Stuart Dick all by himself in 3rd place. Now we switch down to Kip Stevens. Yeah. Oh, there's a car that just shot off to the right. Just shot off to the left. That is Neil Carlson with a very spirited track entry and a very spirited track re-entry now, as the leading group is coming down. We're currently still looking at that midfield pack of McVirchie, Stevens, Hefford, and everyone else going into Ascari.
I was going to say, like, that was a quick exit, but also a quick rejoin. I don't think he had contact with the wall, so I think he managed to keep it under control. And with Rizzo coming into the pits and not unchecking those tyres and fuel, Man, I feel bad for him because I've done that so many times.
Yeah, as we already have started the bump draft party right now. One of the SimLabs cars doing that bump draft. That, I believe it is Hampson. Yes, it was. They head around Parabolica. Beard and Cooper are also in this group. Leading this group is Emery. As that two-car lead battle between Max and McKieran are still heading up, but that gap between them is falling down. But they do have a big gap behind them. And that's at which that pack is full of Ashton, Al Emery, Dick, Max, and McDonald, and Wright with Deemer and Vutoven Essen in 10th.
Yeah, Max and McCarran, they seem to be... I can't quite see whether they're battling it out or if they're just trading places. There's a lot of time to be gained by just letting the guy behind you slip ahead and then falling in behind him so you can keep doing that as the race goes on.
This is great strategy, but in the braking zone, I believe Tyler Maxon actually gave McKieran a little bit of a bump saying, hey, buddy, we need to go faster. They're chasing us down. I'm going to take the lead right here. But as they head into lesson 1, they, I believe, are caught as Jack Ashton's group has caught up to them. So yeah, Jack Ashton ahead of all of his trophies, driving for Excite Racing. He joins the lead for the fight, as well as Stephen Baker, Super Dick, Al Emery, McDonald Leamer, and Max Wright. Just all these guys have joined in. Vutoven Essen's also in here, and I believe Steve Hefford's also joined up. So we have one of the biggest fights for the lead we've seen all day. So big, it's not even fitting our battle box.
I was going to say, someone taking a very aggressive line through the inside of those curbs, they could break your day. Or your suspension, one of the two.
Or both. So going side by side, Maxon around the outside, McKieran up onto the inside. Who's going to be the last late breakers? I believe they both went on the same time because these guys are so consistent that it's rarely to see them make a mistake. Ashton's just sitting back there in third, going to see if he can give McKieran a little bit of a bump draft right now. He's got that front bumper locked in. Here comes Baxter trying to get that bump draft going on Tyler Maxon, but no, he's going to make it 3 wide and take the lead.
I was going to say Maxon and McCarran having that nice little gap of it earlier. It's just disappeared. It's gone.
It's gone like that. 4 laps in, we have a 4-way battle for the lead. Almost 5-way with Stuart Dick right behind him in 5th.
I reckon he's going to latch onto the back of him and cause an interesting shake-up.
Well, he's already joined them right there. Late on the brakes goes. All of them go, and they're going to go through the chicane a little bit single file. There we're a little bit side by side. McKieran up onto the inside of Ashton, but no. Ashton made it safely through there.
Yeah, now this the top 5 guys are starting to pull away from the pack behind him, but we're seeing this constant trend. They start pulling away. Someone's gone off wide to the left there, and someone's gone way too
Lee
wide.
Dimmer, unfortunately, got hit on the back end, and he's shaking his wheel. I think he just needed to turn off his direct drive because that looked painful. So let's see, Lee Dimmer right here. He's right there. Gets turned by Hefford. That is unfortunate for Deemer.
A net code with that, maybe. Yeah. But yeah, it's a shame though. It's close racing, you're always going to have those ones where you don't have much room for error or net code. Unfortunately,
it was too close of a fight to actually call it netcode or not. I believe there was contact either way, but that is unfortunate for Lee Deemer. He's gonna put himself back up and get ready for next round, which is at Twin Ring Motegi.
How do you feel about Twin Ring? What's your feeling on
it? Which one? The oval or the road course?
Both, because I was going to say the road course I love, the oval course I hate.
I love them both.
Oh, no. No, we can't have that. Although, looking through here, hey-oh, 3 wide.
Whenever you see that, how about 4 wide?
Bump drafting into 3 wide, into 4 wide, into 2 by 2. I can't. It's a mess, and it's beautiful.
This is great stuff we're seeing right here as they head into Curva Grande, leading out this group. Oh man, I would not want to be leading out this group right now because it looks like a giant nest of angry hornets right behind you as you head into a braking zone. As we have all these small packs around the track of just all these cars, and really when I say small pack, I'm summing up to about 6 cars now.
I mean, if you have a look
That's
at these
small
bad
by
boys,
this
about 10,
series
15
standards.
up there, yeah.
Yeah, this is a massive group, and this is like the 20th places. These are the midfield. So this is where the hardest racing is, honestly. As we're letting these guys shine right now. Adam McNally chasing now. Oh, we got a car spinning. That is one of the leaders. No, that wasn't. That is Matthew Emery of the Asymmetric team. Went on for a spin on the exit of Lesma too. If we can get... What's happened to him?
I think it's probably just getting a little bit onto the grass coming out of the corner there. It's real easy to just sort of chuck the car in and then all of a sudden, whoop!
He got into the wall hard, and that's going to definitely mess up his car. As, ooh, also speaking off, another one of those cars went off as we head into the Parabolica for the leading group of now the leading 5. Ashton, Baxter, Maxon, Dick, and McKieran.
When you say it like that, it kind of sounds like you're doing Santa's reindeer. Ashton, Baxter, Vixen, Blitzen. So we do have some 2-wide action going on the home straight. Again, front pack. It's an interesting dynamic between the drivers because they're all fighting really hard, and also the moment they seem to find someone that they can pair up with, like, right, bump draft, but then they get to another corner and it's like, nope, I want your position.
It's very aggressive between all these drivers, and they once again head through Curva Grande with 3 laps remaining. Tyler Maxon leads out this group. They're followed by Baxter, Ashton, Dick, and McKieran. Once again, heading into the braking zone. Baxter trying to settle for the inside line. He does get it. Tyler Maxon's got the inside line. It's going to push him off to the ground. Yes, he does. Trying to force him out of the way, but taking the lead now, it is Steven Baxter. And one thing about Steven Baxter, he's moved up 11 places to get up into the lead. What a drive this is for Steven Baxter for Swift Cooper Esports.
I was going to say, I think that's the most amount of position changes. Oh, no, we've got Cooper and Jay Holmes who've got up 13 places. And that's
Joseph
no
Mitchell,
easy feat when looking at the mid-pack.
Joseph Mitchell,
what?
in 24th place, has moved up 18 places.
Sheesh, he's making moves.
He's making moves, and it's about to be 19. He's lined up Silkstone, and he's lined up that draft. He's got the exit, and I believe the overtaking machine for Optical. Joe Mitchell might try to go for 19 right here into Ascari.
I think he's got it. Oh, ooh.
Nah, he lifted. He lifted into the braking zone. He's been having a very positive race, and the way he's been having a positive race is just to be cautious like he is right now. Through Ascari is a very cautious, it's a very crazy way to go 2 wide right now, and he's going to get him on this exit.
Yeah, no, credit to him though, 18 positions, that is manic. Other people not having such a great day. Al Amory, you know, he's gone down positions. You see him just going past now. Make that 18 now. It's a bit of an unfortunate start for him.
We've had a lot of unfortunate people with the crashes and with the false starts.
Yeah, I think, I didn't keep an eye on it, but I don't believe anyone else came in the pit, so I think that was all 4 cars that got a penalty came in on first lap.
"12 cars went into the pit lane."
How many of those were penalties, or were some of those wrecks?
I'm not sure. I can't really tell. 4 cars went in for 5 cars went in for penalties.
Okay,
Maybe
right, fair
6.
enough. That's
5 to 6
okay,
cars.
5 to 6. Ashton's managed to retake the lead though.
Yeah, Jack Ashton got a great move, and I don't want to give all the glory to one driver, but Jack Ashton 10 places up from where he started, as well as Steven Baxter.
Yeah, and it wasn't a hard, it wasn't an easy pass to get around Baxter. You know, he was holding on to that for 2-3 laps. You know, I think that's 20% of the race.
Exactly. We have exciting race going on with one 2.5 laps left as they go underneath the old circuit as this charging pack trying to chase down, led by Wouten van Essen and Max Wright into a scar. They go side by side. McRitchie around the outside, now the inside. Almost comes across McDonald right there as he goes sliding around that exit, very loose. But thankfully, they all kept it clean.
I mean, this mid-pack, that's pretty much anyone's game at this point. You know, we've got, coming up to our I think, actually, no, the leads have already crossed the line, so we've got just about 2 laps to go.
1 lap to go.
Oh, they're coming across the final lap. Ooh, here we go, here we go.
With 1 lap remaining, let's keep it on to the leaders right now. Ashton leads it out, followed by Maxon, Baxter, Dick, and McKieran. These top 5 are fighting out. Oh, Tyler Maxon gets into the back of oh no, he gets into Dick. Oh, Baxter and Dick, unfortunately, get collected at Dick City in the middle of the track. Everyone's avoiding it. They're going all over the place. And they keep it safe, but unfortunately for Steven, Dick ends up in the wall. He was having such a great race. Unfortunately, got into the side of Tyler Maxon and Baxter as they had a little bit of a disagreement. We may take a look at that after this race, but it's now McKieran, Ashton, and Maxon battling out for the lead. SimLab, Excite.
Nice jump there.
It is SimLab, Excite, and Year One Racing battling out for the lead right now. Which team is going to be standing on the top podium of these 3 drivers?
So we got a little bit loose there. I'm not sure whether he's going to have the speed to be able to hold off Ashton coming up onto second for the turn into a scar.
Ashton's giving it the bump drive, and so is Tyler Max, and Tyler actually getting onto the brakes, sensing some danger. They're all separating just a little bit, heading into Ascari. They're all prepping for their moves, going into Paramonga. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're standing onto the edge of the seats. Might want to buckle your seatbelts because this is about to get wild.
What are we thinking? I'm going to go with Ashton around the outside. That's my bet.
I'm not even going to make a bet. I'm just going to enjoy this. Here goes Ashton around the outside. Maxon's taking up Ashton's draft. Maxon's going to swing up to the inside. Tyler dive bomb. Maxon looking to make a move up the inside. Yes, he does. Laid on the brakes, but he's overcooked it. And now Maxon is going way to the outside. It ends up into the gravel. Now McKieran and Ashton, they're going side by side. Ashton and McKieran still side by side. They're having a drag race here in Monza as they're approaching the line and taking the win. It's going to be McKieran by, oh my goodness.
He's going to clear it by nothing.
9 thousandths of a second.
You know what? The last 2 races were rubbish. Winning a race by 300ths of a second? Amateur. 9 thousandths of a second. That's how you win it.
That's how you start out a season, ladies and gentlemen. 9 thousandths of a second. Nick McKieran takes the win with Jack Ashton in second, followed by Tyler Maxon on the podium. What a crazy, crazy race we just saw. Whew.
I'd really, if we get a chance, I would really love to see what happened on straight coming at the beginning of lap 8, because it looks like I forgot which cars were involved in it, but someone got loose off to the inside and then they caved it and they saved it. I'm not sure
it
if
was
they
Baxter, Dick, and Maxon. I believe Baxter and Maxon were battling side by side, and one of them just didn't want to get room, and they started bumping with each other.
So that's a massive shame, because I was looking like I was gonna say it was looking like we were gonna have a good battle for the top 5, and then we did anyway. It just kept, it's the gift that kept on giving.
Yes, it absolutely was. And here is the replay. Maxon around the outside, Baxter up on the inside, Tyler trying to turn into the draft, and he turns Baxter, he's returning, but he got into Dick, and Dick, unfortunately, was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. But look at all these drivers avoiding that. That could have been a nasty wreck, but all these drivers avoided it at the start. Great communication by everybody. Very unfortunate for Baxter and Dick to end out race 3 like that, but what a crazy race. And I do believe we have some guys ready for interviews. But here are your results. It is Nick McKiernan taking the win, followed by Jack Ashton, Tyler Maxson, Jason Cooper, Brian J. Holmes, Max Wright, Jamie Ayers, James McRitchie, Wouter Van Essen, Joe McDonald, Ashley Beer, Peter Van Gool, Niels Carlson, Kip Stevens, Adam McNally, Steve Hefford, Andy Maxwell, and Joram Ursum in 18th place. And then he's followed by Ador Al-Amri, Luke Cooper, Liam Silkstone, Joseph Mitchell, Phil Reagan, David Ayers, Scott Malcolm, Stuart Degg, Adam Delmont, Ben Sharp, Charles Kellerman, Rob Graham, Stephen Baxter, Cesar Rizzo, Dave Hampson, Ralph Cunningham, Carl Hardy, Matthew Emery, Benjamin Miras, Lee Dimmer, Mikey Key, Craig Jones, Dale Benison, Steve Hansford, and Carl Jacqueline, finishing up in 43rd place. And with that, I believe, well, we did have a few guys ready for interview, but they just went all away. So, Tubsy, sum up this race for us.
I mean, can I? Like, if you look at collectively, the gaps between first and second, even if you add them all up, it comes down to less than 0.2 of a second. If I'm right in saying, it was 0.03 of a second for the first race, 0.09 for a second, and then 0.009. So out of all the races, if you add them all together, the gaps between the first two cars was less than 0.2. You can't get much closer racing than that.
It was just insane racing all day today here on the BSR Pro Series, and oh my goodness, it was just awesome. Let's bring in our broadcaster for the camera, Samuel Kumo. What did you think of that?
Yeah, let's say for the first broadcast of this season, and it's been a while since I've done the BSR MX5, and let's say I'm glad to be back, because this was certainly something. I just feel too bad for the guys in the outside top 20, because there was so much action in the top that we barely had any chance to cover them.
Yeah, it was so close racing. Unfortunately, a few incidents happened, but this just absolutely makes the racing even better. 3 races are in the bag, and now we're heading to Twin Ring Motegi. It's been a awesome time in the commentary box. Thank you, JJ, for joining me in the commentary box, and thank you, Kumo, for controlling all the cameras. I'm Oz tonight, and I hope y'all have a great night. Oh, wait. Oh, there is? No, there's 3 races. Sorry about that little bit of confusion. We're back. There is 4 races, not 3. Unfortunately, we went by the amateur calendar and weren't made aware that there was 4 in the Pro Series, so sorry about that. We'll be back after these short messages for race number 4.
Well, of course we forgot to run the reverse grid wheel, so let's spin it. Sorry about the confusion. That's what you get when you have multiple BSR MX5 series running. And it is going to be -4. And with that, we are finally good to go on a break. So see you in the fourth and final race of the evening.
Howdy, 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 everybody, and welcome back for the 4th race. Here for the BSR Pro Cup. The lights are on as the sky is dark. The track is lit, and here are your top 20. Ashley Beard starts on pole, followed by Joe McDonald, Craig Jones, Cesar Rizzo, Steve Hansford, Dale Benison, Niels Carlson, Andy Maxwell, Stuart Dick, Phil Reagan, Adam Delmont, Albor Al Amri, Peter Van Gool, Jerome Ursum, David Ayers, Jamie Ayers, Scott Malcolm, Jack Ashton, Matthew Emery, Max Wright, Charles Kellyman, Benjamin Mias, Tyler Maxton, and James McRitchie in 24th place. And I believe the lights are coming on right now, so let's get all and ready.
How much are you going to hate me if I say the night is dark and full of MX5s?
Well, you just said it a lot.
Are you
As
ready?
the lights... No, not really. As the lights are coming on right now, and we are going racing for one final time for real here in Monza.
You know, I've never taken a moment to appreciate the headlights of the MX5.
Not sure a lot of people have a lot because you can't really control them, as we have a 3-wide battle going down the front straight for the lead, and also in the midfield. But it's Beard, Jones, and McDonald all battling it out right now into the Curva Grande.
Got some nice clean action going on so far. We've got like 2 wide, we've got 3 wide, we've got 4 wide. I can't even keep track. It's just all up and down the field.
Yeah, cars are flinging all over the place as they're going 3 wide into the braking zone. I see Stuart Dick also up there in the top 5. He's going to be very excited to be up there. Hopefully his race goes better for them than last race. Just like last race, everyone keeping it very calm. And I said that Kip Stevens, there's a crash in the backfield. And that's Rob Graham getting turned into by Delmont. And Mikey Key also involved in there.
Yeah, I think someone just got ready to come out of the chicane.
Oh
there
my
and just
goodness,
start
Mikey
falling
Key's
out.
suspension is... That is a massively broken car. And I want to say, this track has no lights around it. The track's only as bright as these headlights go right now. And since they're running in a pack, this is one bright track.
Yeah, they're going to keep those headlights close together as we get the race. We've got Beard taking off in the lead here, but as we've seen in the past 3 races, you know, that leads nothing. Give it half a lap, and they're going to be on you like a pack of dogs.
Yeah, the following cars are like a giant nest of wasps as you try to run away from them. Joe Mitchell makes it 3 wide. Joe McDonald, I'm sorry. And into the parabolic he goes. He bumps hard into Jones. As well, unfortunately, not making any room. We're looking at Jones and Stuart Dick now going 2 wide. As they're going 3 wide while chasing down Ashley Beard.
Well, we got our wish. We got our 3 wide in Parabolica. On lap 1 as well. Take it. Yeah, it's set up for a good race. As again, same kind of trend that we've seen the past few races. We're gonna start up for a bit. We're gonna say no. We're gonna take away the lead. We're gonna go ahead, and then look a corner. Bang! 2 wide. Here we go. Back into the action.
Back to the action again as they fly down into turn 1. We're looking at our midfield right now. David Ayers taking it 2 wide. Looking at Benjamin Mears and Joseph Ursum also 2 wide in that second row. Great pack racing right here in the MX5s. Hard on the brakes they go. And there's a massive crash in the background in the braking zone. 2 SimLabs cars are involved in that. One of the Swift Cooper cars. That is Cooper as well. Hampson and Hefford are involved in that. Let's take a look in the braking zone on board with Luke Cooper in that Swift Cooper esports car. Hard on the brakes. Tries to avoid it. Slams to that SimLab car. And unfortunately it comes across and collects Hampson as well, who was unfortunately a bystander. We also had a crash up above there as that was Nick McKieran caught out off the exit of the chicane. Absolute chaos has happened here.
Yeah, I feel bad for the 72 in that instant just before the chicane. He got body checked into the wall there. And we have another
Stuart
one.
Dick going slow out of Ascari. This is more looking like a war zone on lap 2 than an actual race.
shows how hard these guys are fighting. You know, they've been in the car for a while now. These races, the gaps in between, they've been at it for a few hours. Tensions are rising, patience is being lost, and we're going in for 3-wide parabolica all over again.
3-wide parabolica. Cars going almost sideways as that other Switch Group car takes a little bit too much of a curb and got a bit sideways, and he's all over the other side of the track as they fly down the front straight. 3-wide once more.
Yeah, we've got quite a substantial. Is that Beard and Rizzo and Ayers
yes.
making a here?
Yeah, they're way ahead of the group, and if they work together, they might get themselves clear of this charging pack.
I'll tell you what, shout out to Jones and McDonald's. They're holding their own up there in the AM series, fighting up amongst the pros at the top.
Yes, they are. Craig Jones, you can tell in that yellow result clothing car. He goes around the outside, but unfortunately, commentator's curse gets turned into the gravel, and he's going to have a very risky rejoin, and he's going to cause more chaos as he comes back onto the track. Sebastian Vettel and Lance Stroll. There's a car turned in the chicane. He's got his car moving again, but unfortunately, Jones' car is damaged. He's going to go wide and come back on track. And yeah,
look at that.
Yeah, he's going to retire that car.
You know, I'm just not going to mention anyone by name for the rest of the season, because when I do, it's just apparently that person just loses whatever they've got going on for them.
So we see Max and Amias going into Ascari. Nias is right in 15th spot. He's going pretty slowly through Ascari. Does he have any damage on that car? It's leaning a lot. His front left is bent. Yeah, he's got slight suspension damage, but not enough to make it significant, but it is a damaged engine, I believe, as they're heading into Parabolica.
Yeah, I think if he manages to stay in the draft, he shouldn't lose too much time. I mean, if he gets left out in the draft, he's going to be left out in the cold.
He goes wide once more through Parabolica. It's the turns that are getting him.
Yeah, especially if you think about it, right, Parabolica, it's the fastest corner on the track, I think. And it just loads up that front left tire so hard that it's already at breaking point. It can't give any more.
Yeah, it's going to be a very interesting way he takes this next turn. We're going to see how he takes it through Curva Grande. I think he's going to have to actually lift for this.
Yeah, he's getting sketchy.
He's fighting that wheel. It's going sideways. It's a little bit keeping off the grass. He's made it through cleanly.
Yeah, I mean, credit to him.
We got a crash up ahead. We got a crash up ahead. That is Tyler Maxon's gone off. I saw one of the year one cars spinning up ahead. We need to take a replay, but that is one messed up front bumper of Tyler Maxon, who was fighting in that lead group or trying to catch up. He goes up to the inside late on the braking move, and he gets, he just unfortunately turns into McDonald right there. And he rejoins the track on the outside, almost causes another crash, but thankfully everyone keeps going in the right way.
Guys behind him.
Back to the leaders of Beard, Ayers, and Rizzo, as they have a nice three-way pack. The cars behind are 4 seconds through Ascari. There's a car going slow. That is Emery going slow out of the Ascari.
Yeah, top three managed to get a nice little lead pulling away here. Same kind of thing we've seen for the past few races, but we've also seen that second pack. Once they start settling it down a little bit and they start working together, they can close that gap really fast. That doesn't mean they're out for the race.
Yeah, the race still goes on as they go through Parabolica. Halfway through the race now. And these charging guys going to try to close down on Ashley Beard and all the others.
Was that a slow car on the right? It's the Excite car. What number
yes,
is that?
Yes, it is. That is Regan. That's the 98 of yeah, Jack Ashton's going a bit slow on the exit of Parabolica. But it looks like he's caught up the draft and continuing his pace, but not as fast as everyone else. So he's going to be like a fish in water, uh, just around everybody else. He's keeping his ground right now, regaining control into the braking zone. They're looking at the 39, who's just appeared out of nowhere. That is Peter Van Gool, who is a lap.
Mia's getting heavy on the braking zone into the grass, and he gets a bump draft to just push him on and keep going.
Yeah, Peter Van Gool is the 4th place car, and I believe they've caught up. No, they just caught up to Peter Van Gool, because Peter is still 5 seconds away from the leading pack. They're pulling away.
They're having a good old tussle there, but this second pack, they're providing us some good high-quality action as we're going along. As the number 98 car gets a little bit square out, and draft shaking each other off.
And they're racing once more, and I think Beard and Ayers have pulled away from Rizzo. Rizzo's showing a second gap to us. It's not far enough for him to be. It's not far enough for him to be dropped away. 2.5 seconds is pretty much the delta for out of the draft, so he can still stay with them through the straights, but he's dropped back quite a bit. So these guys are going through some massive pace into the corners, but they are safe from the other guys right now, leading by 5.5 seconds. Once it gets to 2.5 seconds, they're kind of out of the draft, but once you hit into that sweet spot, you're caught back into there. As Rizzo watching the bump draft of Ayers and Beard go down the front straight.
The gap, yeah, it looks like Ayers actually pushing Beard away, trying to run away from Rizzo and saying, hey, look, if we two can work together, we can battle it out later on. We don't need to worry about it right now.
Thing is, Rizzo and Ayers are teammates. They both race for SimLabs. So I'm kind of confused. I'm kind of confused why these two will be not bump tracking with each other instead of working with Ashley Beard and Excite Racing. I'm guessing just try to get Ashley to make a mistake as Ashley goes into the braking zone, into the grass, taking it out wide into the gravel as they race along once more. So you see the giant group behind him just chasing each other down. That gap is growing corner by corner, straight by straight. They have more firepower with them, but I don't think they have the consistency through the turns to keep everyone going through there safely to continue on.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to catch up. There's only a couple laps left. And looking at these guys, they are squabbling for position, which is completely fair. You know, last race of the night, last few laps, you don't want to be betting it all on that last lap overtake. But Ayers and Beard seem to be going at it once again into Ascari. Seems a bit of a love-hate relationship between these two. Love each other in the straights, bump as far as you can, and then when it gets to the corner, just Hail Mary and see what happens.
Yeah, they're taking it safely, but they're also taking it very aggressively as Jamie Ayers, you're going to love this, up 15 places from where they started.
Let's have a look at these time scores. 15, that's the most on the grid right now, right?
No, McNally and McRitchie, both up 20 places.
McRitchie's done a hell of a job. And to be honest, in a track like this, he'd have had to have made those positions up early. Like that was a phenomenal first lap, I'm guessing.
Exactly. Oh, I thought they were entering the pit lane. Our pit lane timer entered it, but I think that was just people taking Parabolica so close to the bottom as, oh no! Beard is in the grass! Ayers is pushing Beard into the grass, but they've kept it pointing straight, and now that was Beard into the grass, and now Beard is up onto the inside, going through Curva Grande. Both SimLabs car now following each other. I think teammate tactics are working with each other right now as they head into the braking zone, making Ashley Beard think twice about their decisions right now as they go two-wheeling right now as the SimLabs cars are passing each other and pressuring on Ashley Beard with 2 laps remaining as, oh my goodness. See, oh no! Beard gets pushed off the track! Ayers he hit the wall on the inside, came back on track. Beard rejoins back in 3rd, but their car is very loose, gravel heavy. Just very crazy as Ashley is following the SimLabs cars ahead of him. And that is nice. That is sportsmanship right there. Jamie Ayres letting Ashley Beard giving that place back.
Yeah, I've got a lot of respect for moves like that. Some people will turn around and say, no, the position's position, take it and run. But, sometimes you've got to turn around and say, hey, look, that wasn't intentional. I didn't want to get back in front. Because I guarantee what's going to happen now. Ez isn't going to let him go. Next corner, he's going straight back at him. He's going straight back for that challenge again.
Yeah, one corner mistake. Retirement's fine. 2, I'm not sure. But as they're heading into Parabolica for 2 of the final times, as it's a white flag this lap, and away they go for one last time for real in Monza.
Yeah, we've got Rizzo busting out a move around the outside, manages to take it into the lead. He's hanging it out really wide here, saying it's Beard. Hey, look, if you wanted the draft, you got to come chase it.
Ashley Beard locked themselves in that draft and on that bumper of Rizzo, that SimLab car. Very fast down the front straight. They also have Jamie Ayres leading out the back of this group. I don't think Jamie's going to try anything after that incident. Here comes Ashley Beard up the inside. They're going to go side by side into the braking zone.
I don't know if you saw that, but McRitchie's, he's dropping places like a brick. Looks like there was an issue back with the second pack here, but we've got a great battle going on for the lead as well. Beard and Rizzo managed to go too wide through the chicane. And we've got
we got a car. We got a car turned around. That is Jack Ashton turned around the chicane. Nice little donut. We also have a car going slow. That is the year 1 of
Is it Reagan?
I think that might have been Phil Reagan. Looking back at this group into the braking zone. Jack Ashton around the outside. Peter Van Gool gets tapped into Ashton right there. And Ashton unfortunately gets turned as that other year 1 car just turns off the track on his own power.
Yeah, it was unfortunate race there. It got a little bump from behind. Couldn't really help much about it until out. But Robin's racing. Let's just see what happens with the rest of the pack. Because looking back here, Beard's back on top. He's in front, but it's an interesting point. Do you want to? It's like Dega when you do NASCAR or Daytona. Do you want to be in front when you've got a long straightaway to go on the last one, or do you want to be at the back chasing for that?
Well, we see Rizzo. He's the one with all the speed. Rizzo's going to go around the outside into Parabolica. Jamie Ayres sitting at the back, but look at Beard. Beard is fighting through Parabolica. Beard has the inside. Beard and Rizzo, they're going to have a drag race. Here comes Jamie. They're going to go 3 wide across the line, and it's going to be Ashley Beard taking the win by 500ths of a second.
500s, that's so what we've had 300s, 500s, 100s, and 9,000s.
That's a 4th.
Yeah, there we go. And amazing race from the field up and down. I've got a nice 3-wide finish. Here we go, Liam Silkston taking that battle.
Great drive by Liam Silkston, moving up 20 places from where he started. Just crazy.
Look at Sharp coming in 4th, 21 position gains.
Well, Sharp taking the record for the biggest mover then. So we're looking at all the other cars going through the field. Unfortunately, these guys have been involved in some stuff. Collingham and Cardison. I believe Cardison is still suffering with that special damage as he goes around Parabolica. And it's going to be Ralph taking that little pack win.
Yeah, I mean, 21 positions gained for the leader of the AM club, coming in 4th overall, just one shy of the podium. Real stellar job there.
As we look at the headlight lit forest of Monza, I believe we are all the way finished with drivers across the track, and I think it's time to bring up our results. Or are we still waiting for Stuart Dick to finish up?
Yeah, Monza's a deceptively long lap, particularly if we've got damage. I mean, look at that wheel.
Oh yeah, he's turning to left to go right.
He's drifting. Taking the car's approach. If you want to go fast left, you got to turn it all the way right.
See, comes across the line. No! All the cars have crossed out the field. And here are your results for race number 4 out of 4 for the BSR MX5 Pro Series. Ashley Beard takes the win, followed by Cesar Rizzo, JV Ayers, Ben Sharp, Matthew Emery, James McRitchie, Albert Al Emery, Benjamin Mias, Dale Bedison, Max Wright, Carlos Jacqueline, Carl Hardy, Adam McNally, Joe McDonald, Jack Ashton, David Ayers, Jerome Ursum, Andy Maxwell in 18th place. He's followed up by Luke Cooper, Nick Kieran, Liam Silkstone, Steve Hansford, Adam Delmont, Stephen Baxter, Phil Reagan, Ralph Cunningham, Niels Carlstead, Charles Kellyman, Jason Cooper, Stuart Dick, Peter Van Gool, Joseph Mitchell, Rob Graham, Kip Stevens, Tyler Maxon, Craig Jones, Steve Hefford, and Scott Malcolm. And the last 3 are Brian Jones, Dave Hampson, and Mikey Key finishing out the field. What a crazy number of races we have saw today.
Yeah, I think I think in that last race, seeing quite a few heartbreaking moments in a lot of those wrecks. Seeing McRitchie after putting in all the work, gaining 20 positions, and unfortunately not being able to close that one out after the incident going through the chicane. That was the story of heartbreak for the night, I think.
Yeah, there was lots of heartbreak. A few cars getting taken out, and okay, yeah. There's just honestly, I can't really sum up all these races together because it's heartbreak, but also teamworking and just that was awesome.
In summary, that was awesome.
Yes.
10 out of 10. Would do again.
Yes, we are. So let's bring Sammy back on in the booth as there's no replay. There is no wheel this time. So Sammy, how was that race for you?
Well, I'm glad we had 4 races because that was well worth it. Usually you don't really know how it goes with these late night races. So right now I'm still kind of hoping that we get some guys in the booth for the interviews before we close it off for tonight.
I think they're trying to pull their inside joke a little bit longer to make me think there's a race 5.
Oh, you mean there's not a race 5?
Yes, there's a race 4. I made sure of it.
100%.
Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you.
So, go on, boys. Best race of the night. Which one are we going for?
I'm gonna have to say race 3.
Yeah, same. Race 3.
Was that the one with the really close finish between first and second?
They were all really close finishes between first and second.
Okay. When I say the really close, I don't mean the really, really close. The really, really, really close.
All right, as we try to sum up which one you meant, let's bring in Tyler Maxon into the commentary box. Howdy, Tyler. How was that race? Unfortunately, in race 3, you, in your own words, you sent me a message saying you threw that one away. Walk us through there.
Yeah, looking back on it, I probably shouldn't have tried the dive bomb. I shouldn't have tried my signature move, but, I had to throw it in there at some point. I hadn't done my signature move yet. So, I figured that we would just send one down the inside and try it, and it obviously didn't work out for me. So, looking back on it, I probably should have just kind of backed out of it a bit and tried to get the run going onto the straightaway. But, things happen. It is what it is. This track's just so difficult to even be fast at. And it's not difficult to be fast at, but it is difficult to run up front because it's all about the strategy. So excited to go somewhere a little bit less drafty next week and a little bit more about the driver. So I think that's where I'll really be fast.
Yeah, it was your debut race as a pro driver. How is that any different than being an amateur driver?
Racing, not too much different for me. Had to do a bit more prep because the pros in this league are just really, really fast. So, had to do a bit more prep and a bit more preparation. A little bit more qualifying practice, things like that, to be able to really maximize everything that we could have gotten out of it. We still didn't even do that, so a little bit more work next week, and I think I'll be even faster.
All right. Well, thank you for stopping by. Anyone who want to shout out?
Yeah, definitely. Shout out all the guys over at Year One Racing. Shout out my real life team, Copa Motorsports, and everyone else that helps me on the team. That's about it.
All right, well, thank you, Tyler, for hopping in. And we're going to drag in Ben Sharp now. Howdy, 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 Ben. How are you doing?
Hello?
Yes, Ben, we can hear you. How was
Hi,
that
you all right?
race? Yeah, we're having a great time.
Good, good.
A little bit of freak out at the end of race 3, but we're fine.
Yeah, I had the same.
You want to walk us through your favorite races?
Well, I've had 3 mega races tonight with 3 wins in the AMs, so I'm well happy with that. Probably race 2, I think, when I came P4 overall. I was just in the lead pack the whole time. It was just crazy. Just trying to keep your nose clean and stay in it till the end. It was really hard.
Yeah, Tyler was in here saying racing at the front is very difficult. It's more about strategy than being the better driver. And certainly on Monza without the first chicane, it's more of a oval than a road course. That's what he was getting to. Do you feel the same way?
Yeah, no, definitely feel the same way. Like you're just you're almost backing up into the last corner to try and be able to get a run on the car in front, because then you'll clear them in the slipstream. Where if you come out sitting right in their bumper, you don't really get much of a tow, and you sort of end up going like 4 abreast down the front straight. So it's quite a lot of tactics into it.
Yeah, we're watching a replay right now, and you did go 4 wide going to Parabolica on one of the laps, and it just looks honestly crazy going 4 wide down the straight. JJ was going insane in the commentary booth, and I think JJ has some questions for you.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, interesting just to look at like how you approach a track. Monza is a more technical track that we're going to like later on in the season. How do you change your approach? Do you focus more on, okay, I really want to qualify really well and I make sure I'm out in the front, or do you focus more on, you know, I want to see where I am after my qualifying session and focus on packing up and choosing my partner as well?
To be honest, I always just approach it the same. I just go, whether it's right or wrong, I just try and set the quickest time I can. If I can use people to get a draft, because on these cars, almost on every track, you get a big advantage from it. Like this track, you almost needed a couple of cars in the draft to pick them off and keep popping through. But no, I sort of approach the same each track and just try and do the best lap I can and just do lots of laps. So that's the way to do
Yeah,
it.
no, fair enough. Hard work and effort, I like it. And going forward for the season, are there any tracks in particular you're looking forward to going to?
Most of them really. Like, unfortunately, I can't race next week because of my real work commitments. Unfortunately, because I'm in Spain, and then after that, I should hopefully be doing the rest of the season.
Going to lovely old Spain. My heart bleeds for you.
Yeah, it's a hard working life. What's happened?
Okay, it seems like Austin might have an issue with the microphone, so... Ben, did you have anyone you would still like to thank before we close it off?
Yeah, big thanks to Year 1 Racing for having me part of the team. Literally my first weekend racing with them, so really enjoyed it. That's about it, really.
Cool. Hopefully see you continue with the decent results in the following races, and take care.
Yeah, I will do. Thank you very much.
Well, it seems like our co-commentator Austin had to kind of take a run for the work, so I think that pretty much does it for this week. Surprised 4th race, but we managed to get it covered, so that's all good, even with the reverse gear. So for us at the booth, Austin and JJ Tubbs, and for me, Sam, we wish you a very good evening and hope to see you next week as well.